Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to another BoshNRoll video. Today, I am playing a modern brew from Patreon subscriber Joe. This is Shark Resurgence. This deck is based around Resurgent Belief, which is the Suspend Modern Horizons version of Reserve List card Replenish, which you've seen me play in Legacy a number of times in Shark Typhoon decks. It's a sorcery that has no mana cost, so you have to suspend it or alternate cast it in some way. Suspend is 1 and a white, or suspend 2. Return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's a powerful effect. What enchantments are going to be in the graveyard, and what are we going to do with them when they get back to the battlefield? This is a combo control Bant Shell. We got Counterspell, we got Removal, we got Teferi, all the stuff you'd expect in just a Bant or basically blue-white with a little green splash control shell. But we also have lots of ways to draw cards or filter cards that result in things going to the graveyard ahead of schedule. Consider gives you card selection while fueling your graveyard. Dress Down has text on the battlefield, but can also just cycle for 2 and put itself in the graveyard. Faithful Mending, draw 2, discard 2. Thirst for Meaning, this is a sweet one. Draw 3, discard 2, unless you discard an enchantment. So this is actual card advantage if you discard an enchantment, which is what you want to do anyway. Shark Typhoon cycles itself straight into the graveyard while drawing a card and making a creature. And Omniscience, this one we're going to have to put in the graveyard some other way, because it doesn't do anything until you combo off. And what is the payoff here? We have Omniscience, which can cast Glittering Wish, reveal a multicolored card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, exile Glittering Wish. Glittering Wish has a tight little wish board here of Teferi Time Raveler for when you just need that sort of effect. Supreme Verdict for when you're trying to take the heat off. Detention Sphere, also removal. Bring to Light is an alternate way to cast Resurgent Belief. As long as you put at least 2 colors into Bring to Light, you can search your deck for Resurgent Belief and cast it without paying its mana cost, which circumvents the suspend business. So that is a 7 mana line to immediately Resurgent Belief if you have the time to do that. And the combo kill is with Omniscience. You can Glittering Wish for Conflux. Conflux is search your library for a white card, a blue card, a black card, a red card, and a green card, put them into your hand. You choose Glittering Wish as your green card, Approach of the Second Sun as your white card, and then you cast Approach of the Second Sun, it goes back into your deck, and then with the second Glittering Wish, you wish for the second Conflux, and then you Conflux for the Approach again. You get other cards too, but it doesn't matter. The 2 Confluxes result in the 2 Approaches, and that is an immediate win once you put Omniscience into play. My excitement for this deck is that there are basically no creatures in it, so we get a lot of virtual card advantage. If an opponent has like Fatal Push or Unholy Heat or something, it's not really going to find a target, or at least not a good one. You can pick off Shark Typhoon Sharks, but they will have already drawn a card on the way through and fueled the graveyard for the future. I love the counter spells. I love the removal. I love any deck with Teferi. I like that we're going to have the Brewer's advantage. People aren't really going to know what we're up to until it's too late. I like that Approach of the Second Sun can just win a game without comboing off. Like if you get control of the board and just cast this spell, cantrip a few times, cast it again, just like old standard, you can do that. What I'm concerned about is Graveyard Hate. That knocks a lot of action out of this deck. We're going to have to like Glittering Wish for the answer to the Graveyard Hate, or Teferi to bounce it if they have like Rest in Peace or Leyline. That's a little worrisome. The removal in the main deck is extremely light. This build, it's been evolving a little bit. Joe submitted it to me a while back, and it takes me a while to get around to each deck to play them. I've seen it go through a few iterations where removal has gotten thinner and thinner, and the combo's been getting faster and faster, which is definitely a way to go. Like, you could build an almost normal Bant control deck here with just like a couple enchantments and like one Resurgent Belief and like the Glittering Wish for Bring to Light to find it when you're ready. But that's not what Joe's done. This is a combo deck. It just has some control elements. And that's powerful in some spots and it's weak in others. And we will see how that goes. Another card I'm extremely worried about is Teferi Time Raveler. There is very few ways to cast Resurgent Belief with a Teferi in play, because Teferi shuts down Suspend. Teferi also shuts down Bring to Light. Like, we're going to have to remove the enemy Teferi if we're ever going to have a chance. And that kind of makes me want some Mystical Disputes in the sideboard. I just talked myself into that. I'm going to make that change right now. I don't think we need Force of Negation in the sideboard, and 3 is a lot of Veil of Summer. Let's get 2 Mystical Disputes in here too. And I think that's going to round it out a little better. We have Prismatic Ending that can answer Teferi, and Mystical Dispute that can counter it now. But Sharks are also pretty good at pressuring Teferi, but that is the #1 individual card I'm concerned about. Outside of that, this is a powerful engine, and I hope it comes together quick. Like, 4 is a lot of Resurgent Belief. We got a couple different ways to cast it. I'm in. Let's try this thing. I'm on the play for round 1. I'm going to keep this hand. I can consider on turn 1, suspend on turn 2, and then Faithful Mending and try to get some stuff in the graveyard. I don't know, this is a weird one. Not sure how aggressive I'm supposed to be here. Kind of want to protect my life total. I don't actually need green mana to play the game. Glittering Wish is good and all, but whatever. I'm going to consider. Glittering Wish into the graveyard is not a helpful card for me right now. Oh, that's a good one. I don't actually want to suspend Resurgent Belief right now. I could just exile DRC before it does anything. Yeah, I think that's where I want to be. I would have liked to advance my own situation there a little more. But Mending's not great here because I kind of want all the cards in my hand. Consider. Pretty awkward that there are no enchantments in my graveyard or in my hand right now. Faithful Mending and Thirst for Meaning are both instants. I'm going to hold up Counterspell, and if they don't do anything, then I'll consider try to set up a Mending. Resurgent Belief is cool in that because of Suspend, it goes off in your upkeep when all your lands are untapped, so you can use your counterspells to protect it. All right, I got Thirst for Meaning on. I kept that Plains on top, so I had 3 mana for this. They're probably going to draw 2 here. Yep. I'm not going to fight over that. Aggressive Iteration. Could respond to that. I could just counter it. I think I want to Thirst for Meaning. No, because if they just jam Murktide, I'm a clown. All right. They exiled Mishra's Bauble. Targeted themselves with Bauble. I'm going to Thirst for Meaning in the end step. I'm going to discard an enchantment. And it's going to be Dress Down. This is not sexy. Not bad, though. Another Resurgent Belief. That's interesting. I could suspend 2 of them, and then like one of them's pretty likely to resolve. All right, I'll suspend one of them. Just get to work on that. And I have the Thirst for Meaning and the Faithful Mending to try to get something worth regrowing. All right, they're just flinging bolts at me now. They realized I'm up to something. I'm not just a blue-white control deck. I am going to counterspell the Murktide Regent. I'm sure they have another counterspell, but it's honestly more important for me to resolve my Mendings and Thirsts than it is to beat this Murktide Regent. Okay, so Resurgent Belief's going to pop next turn. And I can... this deck sometimes plays Spell Pierce. I'm going to respect it. Just trying to get any enchantments in my graveyard right now. Jeez. There were a lot in the deck list, right? I didn't imagine that. Okay, so I think as good as this Teferi is, Like, I can't really combo kill without approach. I'm going to discard this Wish and this land. Then I'm going to Mending. White, blue. Let's give me 2 enchantments here. Or 0. That's cool too. Built. Alright, well. That hurts. Guess I'll put back these 2 to fair. Dropping these to fairies sucks. Approach is not doing anything for me. Okay, super awkward that there's literally 1 enchantment in my graveyard right now. I can flashback Faithful Mending in response to Resurgent Belief. The 2 life off of Faithful Mending is feeling pretty big right now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10. Like, there are many ways I could just lose right now. There's 2 bolts left in their deck. There's 3 Murktides in the deck. They could burst these last 6 points of damage. It could happen. Taking 7 here. Oof, don't like they shocked that in. Okay, I'm gonna Faithful Mending in my upkeep in response to this thing. Jeez. Tough crowd. I am 26 cards into my deck right now without finding an enchantment. This is so awkward, like they don't even need to counter this. I kind of hope they do, because it's not even good. It literally just puts Stress down into play and draws me a card. Sure. Alright. Now I'd like to draw a land. Okay. Can I get Teferi in here? Okay. Do you have another counter? Ooh, Teferi's in. Bounce this Murktide Regent. Okay. I'm glad they countered that Dress Down. Literally just fucking Dress Down. I don't think it's going to matter because this Murktide is re-lethal immediately and I have no answer to it. Or I could Faithful Mending to gain 2 life. That's probably the line. Alright, here's Murktide. Bladespire, both Canal. 2 cards left in their hand. I'm at exactly 0 on board. But I can Faithful Mending more than once. Okay, plus Teferi. And I can suspend Resurgent Belief as an instant because I plus Teferi. The actual rules text on suspend is rather than cast this card from your hand, pay 1 and a white. So you can do this anytime you could cast this card if it were a regular sorcery. So I don't need to spend mana just yet. I can play this land. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, the land lets me Mending from graveyard, Mending from hand, and cast Counterspell. So I'm at 4, kind of. There's 1 basic island left in the deck and 1 basic forest that this Misty can fetch without hurting me. I don't really want the forest. I'm not even sure the forest should be in the deck, honestly. But it's there. They're coming straight for my face. Gonna Faithful Mending from the graveyard. Gain 2 life. Jeez. Discard Resurgent Belief and Island. Or other Resurgent Belief. Resurgent Belief and Island are discarded. Go to 2. I can Mend again in response to a Lightning Bolt. But then I'm at 1. And Resurgent Belief is behind the times again. Okay, I'll Counterspell this. I don't like that, but I think I had to do it. Please don't have another bolt. Ugh. Iteration's a good one. There's 1 bolt left in their deck. Found Unholy Heat. That kills Teferi. Don't love that. Well, I'll fetch in response. And get the last island. Oh, shit. Got a forest. Was the island not there? Or did I just misclick? I don't know. Lost track. They have 2 cards in their hand, and they just shocked in Steam Vents. I'm gonna suspend Resurgent Belief. And go to my turn. And that doesn't help. Faithful Mending, let's go. Omniscience and Counterspell, but I'm already dead. Omniscience and land can be discarded. I guess I can flashback Mending again. Not sure what I'm looking for. I don't have an answer to Murktide here. Oh, 1 mana short. Okay, dead to Murktide. That was kind of competitive, but yeah, going 40 cards into my deck before I found some playable enchantments was pretty bad. I guess there really are only 7 big enchantments in the deck, huh? I'm over here like, where are all my enchantments? But there aren't really that many. But it's still like going 40 deep before finding either of these is pretty bad, but yeah. Mystical Dispute helps against the counterspells and the Murktide Regent. Pretty sure I just want Supreme Verdict in the deck. I just want to draw that card and cast it. Engineered Explosives, pretty exciting. Dress Down's really bad in this matchup, which is awkward because it's one of my enchantments. But if I cut the 3 Dress Downs, I also think I just want Teferi straight up in the matchup. Teferi and Supreme Verdict. Like, having time to wish is kind of a pipe dream, I think. Engineered Explosives is removal, but I'm running out of room to... Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna play it like this. I can still wish for Detention Sphere if I need a removal spell, but Teferi and Supreme Verdict are among the better cards in the main deck. I'll keep this on the strength of Teferi. Gonna lead on a Flooded Strand. I'll probably get Breeding Pool. I have a pretty free way to set up my green, and I don't think it's gonna hurt me to do that. Okay, we're already doing better than we were last game. I can Faithful Mending in the end step. If they fight over it, I get to slam Teferi. If they don't fight over it, I get to fix my hand and get Omniscience in the graveyard. Bobbling and Considering. That's weird. They targeted themselves with Mishra's Bauble before casting Consider. They have like Opt instead, or I don't know. You get to see that card with Consider anyway. I don't know. That was strange. Ragavan, okay. Don't like it, but okay. Faithful Mending. Love to find a Shark Typhoon. Omniscience and I think Hallowed Fountain can go. With these fetches, I can set up basics. I'm a little worried about Spell Pierce or Mystical Dispute right now. I could just let Rag hit me, but I'm kind of into jamming Teferi, at least before the big counter spells unlock. Yep, there's a Dispute. No surprise there. Rag's going to connect. There's not a whole lot of great cards in my deck for them. Like, I mean, if they take one of my Teferis, I will be very disappointed. Consider, yeah, I mean, that card is fine and good. That's probably the second best card they could take from me. The best being Teferi. They had DRC, Consider, get the extra trigger. They kept the card off the Surveil and off the Consider. They liked it all. Glittering Wish. What's over there? There's Detention Sphere and Bring to Light. I'm gonna Mending from my graveyard. Another Glittering Wish. And I'm gonna discard Omniscience and the extra Mending. Play a land. Yeah, this is spiraling quickly here. Gonna have to like wish for Bring to Light and hope that they just have nothing. Consider. If I find Supreme Verdict, I'm still in business. That card is very good against this deck all the time. I'm gonna fetch first because there's a Hallowed Fountain in my deck I want to get with this that I don't want Ragavan to take. Counterspell, sure. At least they can't use that. It's passing the turn with 6 mana up. Yikes. Teferi's good. If I play my island and then Glittering Wish, I'm gonna glitter for Bring to Light. Get this Bring to Light, and then play Teferi. That's definitely gonna get countered, but I have to work through these counterspells somehow. Yep. That's 2 Teferis down. I'm just really worried about Ragavan stealing a Teferi from me. The life cushion from Faithful Mending's pretty great. I've never actually cast that card before. Oh god, they could cast Shark Typhoon. I actually don't even mind that. That puts them down to 1 mana. This looks like Murktide. There it is. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I'm dead, so I better cast my spell. Here is Bring to Light. Any counterspell does it. Yep. Even at Flusterstorm. Yeah, this matchup feels really bad. This is a matchup where I would want to be on the mostly Bant control with a little combo option, and I don't want to be a heavy combo option. And that's why, because they just stuck that turn 1 Ragavan, and I had nothing to say about it for the entire game. All right, next round. I'm on the play in round 2. I'm going to keep this hand. I have mana for Faithful Mending. I'm going to save the Temple Garden and see if I can draw another blue source for Counterspell. I can still mend faithfully next turn, regardless, but drawing a blue source would be nice. I'm gonna get Hallowed Fountain. And drew a blue source, had it. And now I can counterspell Dress Down or Faithful Mending. It's all good. Consider in the end step. This Murktide again? Or some other consider deck? Is it the mirror match? They wanted the card. We don't know anything extra yet. Could be the mirror match. Misty Rainforest. Nope. Some crazy alternate art Steam events. This thing is dope. We have a dashed Ragavan. I think I want to just dress this down. Oh, but Moto does that wrong. Or Moto used to do that wrong. All right, let's figure out if Moto still knows what to do here. Okay, so I'm going to let Ragavan resolve. And I'm going to dress it down so it loses haste. And this should still bounce at the end of turn, but I've seen Moto do this wrong before. So I haven't seen this specific interaction in a while. Since Ragavan's banned in Legacy, I just see a lot less of it. Damn it. I guess it's going to bounce in my end step, which is not correct, but sure. Shock and Breeding Pool. I can cycle a Shark Typhoon to trade with Rag. I just hope it actually bounces. Okay, good. All right, everything ended up where it was supposed to be. If I had Sorcery Speed removal, that would have been awkward, but I didn't take any damage, they didn't get any treasures, and Ragavan's back in their hand for their turn. All of that is how it's supposed to be. Mishra's Bauble, okay. Bobbling me. Okay, we're right back in here. Now I have the decision again, Counterspell again, Tread Water with Dress Down again. Like, if they have Lightning Bolt or Unholy Heat, Shark Typhoon turns it on here. And I could just dress it down again. Or I could dress it down next turn. Yeah, I'll try the Shark Typhoon. They forgot to attack. That's funny. Or awkward, depending on who you ask. Depending on the level of sportsmanship involved. Maybe they just don't have the Lightning Bolt and changed their mind about Shark Typhoon. Maybe they thought I had Endurance and didn't actually look at the mana, because I don't have double green. That's awkward, though, either way. Whether that was a heads-up play or a click, either way, it's awkward. I have Omniscience here now. Doing pretty well on spells. Right, now I have Dress Down and Counterspell to protect my Shark token. And if they don't do anything, I can Thirst for Meaning. If they do one thing but not two things, I could Counterspell and Faithful Mending. Aggressive Iteration. I don't think I want to fight over this. It's always such a trap to both fight over this and to let it resolve. You're like screwed either way. But having a proactive plan like my combo helps the tiebreaker a little bit, because protecting my combo with Counterspell a couple turns from now will be worth a lot more than the 2 cards they're going to get off Iteration. Oh, wow. They played a land and then cast Expressive Iteration, then exiled a land. Whoops. Not sure what's going on over there. Hope my opponent's okay. I will counter a Murktide Regent, though. Okay, just a consider milled a bonus Ragavan. We already know there's one in their hand. Looks like my Thirst for Meaning is going to get to do its thing. Yep. Not going to counter Ragavan. And I'm going to Thirst for Meaning before I fetch. If I find Consider, I'll fetch a basic and cast it. If I don't, I'll get a Hallowed Fountain into play. Thirst for Meaning. Card advantage, baby. Card an enchantment. Get Omniscience. And didn't draw a 1-drop, so I'll get the other Hallowed Fountain. Haven't found a Resurgence yet. Still haven't found a Resurgence yet. I'm going to shock in Temple Garden, because if they don't do anything, or I could just get the Detention Sphere now, or no, I'm going to get the Bring to Light now. That's the plan. Green, white. Yeah, right now while they're tapped down, use the ability, get, or I could get Teferi and bounce this sucker. The creature does have dash, but Teferi's really good. It's hard to walk away from Teferi. Taking it. Let's go. Teferi's in. I'm going to bounce Rag. I know it has haste sometimes. They're going to need a removal spell to get it through, and then even if they do that, have the removal spell. Rag doesn't trigger and do rag things if it attacks Teferi. They tap Spire Bluff Canal. Still 7 cards in their hand. My goodness. But so do I. All right. We're keeping up. Bolt my Teferi. Story checks out. Now they can't remove my Shark and dash Ragavan. They could jam a Murktide. That would kind of suck. Actually, I can Glittering Wish for Detention Sphere, so jamming Murktide's not even that bad. They could jam Murktide and Rag. That's kind of bad. Or just pass with Counterspell up. Deal. Land? Thirst for Meaning. I am feeling kind of thirsty. That's my best path to hitting the land. Alright. I'm going to Thirst. Heads up. Main phase. Counterspell. I think I want to counter back. Like, I don't want to counter back, but I think I'm going to. They're likely to connect with Rag this turn, but I hope my card advantage can vary. I'm going to discard an enchantment, which is going to be Dress Down. And I even found Flooded Strand and Prismatic Ending to check the Rag. There is a basic Plains in my deck, and exile this Ragavan. We did it, Jeffrey. I am 24 cards into my deck without seeing a Resurgence, though. So we got that going on. Another tap Spire Bluff Canal, down to 4 cards in hand. That was a very good turn for me. If they just slam Murktide and back it up with counter spells, I'm not out of the woods. Ooh, that's an exciting card. My sideboard contains Bring to Light right now. Green, white, Glittering Wish. I'm going to grab the Bring to Light and just try to set up for some future turn. And if they spend counter spells on this, I'm just over the moon. Deal. Mending. Blue. Oh yeah, they're just in maximum spew mode right now. And I'm here for it. I'll play another Mending. Shark Typhoon and backup Mending and hit the bricks. And the whole game plan is laid out in front of me here. Bolting my face, just giving up on this Shark token entirely. 2 cards in hand. One of them just came off the top at random. One of them's a land. I'm not even worried about Murktide Regent. Okay. They're currently Hellbent. They'll get a redraw, but the redraw has to hit immediately. Because Teferi's coming in. Okay, moment of truth. Did you draw a counterspell? Nope. Didn't even flinch. I'm going to plus Teferi so I can suspend my thing and bounce a Murktide if I have to. If they have an Unholy Heat, that's a little annoying, but I'll deal with it. That means they don't have counterspell. Oof. That's a good one. Every time Izzet Murktide has 1 card in hand, it's going to be Expressive Iteration. Just get used to it. Get used to the idea. And it found Unholy Heat. Sure. DRC. Unholy Heat is on top of the deck, or in exile where it can be cast. And they're about to control the top of their deck with Channeler. They're targeting themselves with Mishra's Bauble again. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out why. I'm trying to give them benefit of the doubt. And you're not going to not cast this Unholy Heat. And you're going to see that same card anyway. Like, why do you need to know what that card is? Looking at my top of my deck at least gives you something. Just looking at cards you were going to see anyway. Okay, got to remember to suspend my belief. And they're going to have 2 draw steps. Well, 1 draw step and 1 bauble draw with which to interact with this Resurgent Belief. Which means I got to come up with a counterspell or Teferi quick. Or another belief and just pile it on. I don't hate that. I'll just load up. And I can still Faithful Mending if I want to. Consider that does give a lot of options. Milled Unholy Heat. Drew a card. They like it. Played a tap Spire Bluff Canal. 1 card in hand over there. And it's Seasoned Pyromancer, which becomes 2 cards in hand. Yeah, that was a really good one. Weird card to have in Izzet Murktide, but a good card to have right now, for sure. 2 fresh looks. Maximum velocity. Target creature gets +1/+1 and haste. Sure. Glad that wasn't a Murktide Regent. Jeez. Alright, their list just got really weird on me. Gonna Faithful Mending from Graveyard before I make any other decisions. Here's this. I can at least discard the redundant Mending. I'm really interested in a counterspell. I win on the spot if I find a counterspell. And if they counter this, then their hand's empty and it's all the same. Okay, all right. Deal. Yeah, Spell Pierce wasn't going to get me anyway, so this was the right play. It's just not a very good one. There are plenty of right plays that are still not very good. All right, I'm going to block one of the 3/3s. Doesn't matter which. And then I combo kill my opponent. Resurgent Belief comes off Suspend. All my enchantments come back. I coulda, shoulda Faithful Mendinged in response just to see where I could go. Would have had another Omniscience, as if that matters. But it's technically correct to do it that way. Oh yeah. It's time to party. Cast with Omniscience. I should have cast the Shark Typhoon first. It doesn't matter, but we're having a good time. Yeah, I just missed out on a 10-10. Cast with Omniscience. I'll do it this way. Aw, they conceded. Didn't even want to see the full combo kill. Okay, we've seen this matchup already. I like Teferi and Supreme Verdict in the main deck. I like Mystical Dispute. I don't like Dress Down. And I believe I cut a Glittering Wish last time as well. And Veil of Summer is really good on the actual combo turn. Yeah, maybe I need to play to the combo game. And what does this look like? Do I cut another Glittering Wish? The card is extremely medium when it's not in the process of winning the game. Gotta cut one more card here. I don't think it can be a Belief. I could cut Approach and just be a Shark Typhoon deck. Just put 40 power into play and hope it's good enough. Yeah, Wish can't get Approach. Though if I'm not an Approach deck, then I shouldn't be a Wish deck either, because wishing for Conflux to get Approached is like the whole point. Okay, I'll shave another Wish. I'd rather leave the one of Approach in there than 2 wishes with no Approach. That just makes more sense. I have my one of Glittering Wish. I have a Resurgent Belief. I'm going to keep this. It needs some help, but I'm under the gun on the draw. Anyway, might as well keep the combo card. Please cast Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, good. As compared to Ragavan, I'd rather play against this one. Play a fetch land. Got no place to make this turn anyway. With only one Wish in the deck, the Conflux line doesn't work though, because you can't get a Glittering Wish for the other Conflux. Little awkward there. There's some tension. This sideboard map needs some work. Okay, now they're bobbling me for the first time in the match on a turn where I have a fetch land right there. So they have not, with any Mishra Baubles yet in this matchup, gotten any information. I'm gonna fetch for Hallowed Fountain here. I know there's one in my hand, but green mana is not that important. White and blue are. Ooh, Teferino. I'm gonna Faithful Mend first. If they fight over that, I can untap and make a move on Teferi. Resurgent Belief can come down pretty quick. Like suspending it on 2 and it popping on 4 is really fast, but it's so fast that your deck can't actually fuel its graveyard that quickly. You would need to like consider into an Omniscience or have Omniscience and Mending in your hand to go for the turn 2 Resurgent Belief. They milled DRC number 2 with the Delirium, or with the Surveil trigger, and they milled an Unholy Heat with the Consider card itself. Another one. We're just ripping here. Dumped a Murktide, which usually means they already have one. Oh, dumped 2 Murktides with the DRC Surveil and with the Consider Surveil. Just 2 Murktides in the graveyard now. Fascinating. Just surveilled away an Expressive Iteration also. Are they just try? Are they desperately trying to hit a land drop? I'm trying to figure out why you would mill past 3 of the best cards in the deck. They're probably looking for a land. Another bauble. Okay. Milled Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, they must be just hurting for lands. Channeler has to fight. And Faithful Mending in the end step. Kind of hope they counter it. Nice. A DRC trigger. Okay, they kept a card on top with DRC. Must have found the land. And they did miss a land drop, so we're on to something. I was going to fetch for this land, but now I have it anyway. So Island, Teferi, Bounce Channeler. No force negations here. Get out. Oh, yeah. The Teferi train's rolling now. And hit me with a bobble on the end step. They draw for bobble, draw for turn. Back up to 7 cards in hand. This deck just never runs out of cards. I guess I did just put one from play back into their hand. There's the land. If they slam Blood Moon here, I'm actually in a little bit of trouble because I don't have a plains and all my important cards are white. Every card in my hand is white, actually. But they didn't do that. I actually think Blood Moon's really bad against this deck, but right now in this exact spot, it would do some damage. All right, blue. It's got to be Murktide. I would love to draw a Supreme Verdict or Prismatic Ending. Those are the draws deck. A third Teferi, I'm not going to complain about, though. Right, I'm going to plus the first Teferi in case I draw Prismatic Ending when I bounce Murktide here. Then different Teferi. Bounce Murktide, Regent. Ooh, Mystical Dispute, hell yeah. Okay. That will also catch Murktide Regent on the way back down. My opponent also just crossed into 5 minutes on their clock. I'm up a game. They're playing slow. I feel like we're not going to finish this one. I'm not going to counter Iteration because I know they have the Murktide that I'm more interested in keeping out of play. I'm not trying to be toxic or disparaging or anything. Just like the way my opponent has played and the speed they've played at makes me feel like they're learning the deck, which is fine. But they made some decisions that I wouldn't make, and they are 10 minutes behind on clock against the control deck with their aggro tempo deck. You take out Teferi here, then I play yet another. I think I'm going to fetch Breeding Pool here. So I have the Forest, and I don't have any green cards I care about. But I guess Breeding Pool. I could get the Plains just to make sure I don't get Blood Mooned. Yeah, fine. I'm not convinced that matters very much. Okay, Teferi, number 3. Force and Negation, that's fun. Good thing I have this Mystical Dispute. I was planning on suspending Resurgent Belief this turn, but we're going to do it like this. I'm not going to turn down a 2-for-1. They pitched Counterspell to do that. Wow, okay. Deal. Berries in, bounce your person, and Hallowed Fountain tapped looks as good as anything else I can do here. I don't think they're going to deal 34 damage to me in 2 minutes and 40 seconds, but let's play this game out and see if we can get Resurgent Belief to resolve and some enchantments in the graveyard, both of which are required right now. I did just leave the shields down to Murktide Regent, but I have Glittering Wish for Detention Sphere if I need to spend a turn stabilizing. Maybe they'll just jam 2 Murktides right now. The 2 Murktides left in the deck, and I get to de-sphere them away. There's a 6/6 Murktide, and passing the turn. You know I have Teferi in play. Okay, plus Teferi, and Glittering Wish for Detention Sphere. I'm just in control mode right now. I don't need to make sloppy plays trying to get Resurgent Belief to resolve. Uh-oh. The answer to my rhetorical question was no. They left up Counterspell. Oh, I can wish for wish. That's so much fun. Get the D-Sphere. Drop the D-Sphere. Exile Murktide Regent and all other Murktide Regents in play. And that's my turn. Yeah, they should have the DRC in play that I bounced last turn. They just forgot that they can't play instants. They did have Blood Moon. Look at me fetching my basic plains. They left up blue. Do you have another Murktide? Or yeah, DRC still not in play somehow. Okay. I guess I just kind of want to... I guess I should develop my lands in case it matters. I'm gonna suspend Resurgent Belief in their end step this turn. And then I guess I get 2 Mendings in between suspending it. Yeah, if just any of the top 5 cards of my deck are enchantments, I'm in. Otherwise, I just wasted my card. Okay, they gave up. They're out of time to make decisions anyway. That was a weird match, but at least we saw how you can pivot into the control role and take your time on Resurgent Belief. I could have suspended this on turn 2, but it didn't make any sense. Now it's turn 7 and it still barely makes sense to do it. And that's okay. Just that's what I was talking about, where a control deck with a light enchantment combo theme. And that's where I'd rather be against this matchup. So sideboard coming in clutch. On to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round 3, Heartbreaker. I would keep this with 2 lands, but not going to keep it with 1, especially if that 1 is the Temple Garden. Here we go. Not the most inspiring, but it does interact. It has the best payoff and the enabler. Need to find a looting effect somewhere, which my deck is full of. Let's do it. Oh no, a discard deck. Okay, maybe not. Uh-oh. Well, it can answer Rag at least. I really don't like the idea of having to play against discard though. Okay, this curve lined up well. End the Rag, and then I can consider with my other mana. Yes, Croxa, dump my Omniscience for me. Hell yeah. Maybe there's some hope. I can bin this Flooded Strand, and Croxa can wipe out Omniscience. Okay. That's the type of discard I can fuck with. Spend Resurgent Belief, and play Castle Vantress, and I'll pass the turn. Okay, non-blue deck. Let's go. See if Omniscience can carry. Omniscience is going to need some help here. It's not going to win the game on its own. Oh no, blue to Delta. I hope that's just for swamps. Okay. Okay. Liliana of the Veil. I'm going to give her the counter spell. I just really want to hit my land drops. And, because she's going to strip the counter spell anyway. If I can get Castle Vantress online, that makes things more interesting. So I gotta say, plussing Liliana into the graveyard combo deck is pretty bold. But I guess you gotta fuel your Croxa. 1 down, come on, enchantment. Enchantment off the top, yeah! Not only is it an enchantment, it's kind of a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna cast Dress Down in response to Liliana activation, because that gives me a chance to spike another enchantment on the way through, and Dress Down being in play stops Croxa and other shenanigans. Like if they plus Liliana and then fetch, they could Croxa here. Voidwalker. Sure. Tarok. Okay. It's not kicked. Alright. It's gonna be a moment of truth. I'm gonna have Omniscience in play, and then it'll be like, alright, what else is coming? Okay, here's Dress Down. I get to draw a card off Dress Down as well, so that's a big game. All right, I'm discarding a backup Resurgent Belief. They discarded a Terminate. We're both Hellbent. I'm going to fetch now while I still can. Get Hallowed Fountain. Dress Down dies. Then Resurgent Belief pops. I get Omniscience and Dress Down in play. Get to draw a card. Draw 1 for that. Draw for turn. Okay. And the Voidwalker is... Alright, cast with Omniscience. The Voidwalker is sleepy, so we're still doing this. That's a fairy. Not mad about that one. Put back the 2 lands. Cast a fairy with Omniscience. I think bouncing Dress Down is better than bouncing one of their creatures, because I get to draw a card for Teferi and a card for Dress Down. Bounce Dress Down. Cast Dress Down. Oh, I'm just going off right now. I'm so excited. This rules. Shark Typhoon. Do I want that in the graveyard? No. No, definitely not. I'm going to cast Shark Typhoon with Omniscience. Then I'm going to cast a Fairy. Get a 3/3. Bounce Dress Down again. Yeah, we're doing the thing. Bounce Dress Down again. Oh, yeah. Cast with Omniscience. Cast Dress Down with Omniscience. Draws another card. Cast Approach of the Second Sun with Omniscience. Get 2 7/7s.
Ooh, we're having a normal one out here today.
This is a huge Veil of Summer matchup for sure. This looks like a Timely Reinforcements matchup also. Maybe it's not. Ragavan is a pretty big one for that. I want to kind of keep this light because I guess what I need to worry about is like Graveyard Hate. The more I play this deck, I just feel like the third Teferi should be in the deck. And Glittering Wish is kind of the optional card. Dress Down, I do like. They do have some ETB stuff going on. Prismatic Ending is pretty important. Yeah, I'm just lower on Glittering Wish. And into Veils. I think this is all I want to do. I'm going. Let's keep it simple. I'm going to keep this hand. Doesn't have Veil of Summer, but it does have a nice spread of magic cards. I should respect Blood Moon out of this deck. This seems like the type of deck that could have that card. Getting Thought Seized immediately. Going after Teferi here or Shark Typhoon. The only card that's not really on the table is Faithful Mending, I think. Any of the other cards there could have been cases for. Ooh, the Belief. Do you believe? This is a suspend Belief on turn 2 matchup. And just hope to fade Graveyard Hate. Tilt. Immediately failed to fade Graveyard Hate. Consider. Let's get Omniscience in there. No. I'll take the Teferi, actually. Okay, so Voidwalker's in. And then if I suspend Resurgent Belief now, play Teferi next turn, bounce Voidwalker. They replay Voidwalker. Yeah, there's no window to get. This is actually a beating. Wow, and I can't cycle Shark Typhoon because this card will just take it. Yeah, I'm going to have to find a removal spell for Voidwalker before I do anything. Yikes. They are hateful. Okay, we'll get Breeding Pool and say yes. Take the 2. Ashiok's here. Do an opponent's graveyard from anywhere. Yeah, this mills for it. So they do get to just... Those 4 cards should have void counters on them. Yeah. They hit one of my Teferis. That's rough. My deck can't actually beat Teferi. But if they spend the Voidwalker, then... Okay, yeah, this is wild. Okay, Voidwalker's in. Taking my damage. I don't think I Faithful Mending. No, I do. Okay. Locked myself into it. White, blue. Because Resurgent Belief doesn't work anyway. I can dump these 2 lands. Okay, lands are in exile. Oh no, Misty Rainforest with Ashiok. I forgot, it's been so long. I played against this card. Should have kept the basic. Ugh. Yeah, that was just a temporary discombobulation of my brain. My opponent's over there pumping their fist because I exiled the wrong thing. Okay. Let's try this game again on game 3. I'm dead here. Voidwalker into Ashiok. They are not playing. Okay. Follow-up questions. Does Teferi matter? I think I want Engineered Explosives in here. If I need to be killing Voidwalkers and shit. Teferi's kind of medium against the deck that doesn't have any instants anyway. Dress Down, turning off Voidwalker is big. Don't think I want V-Click. Okay. I'm going in like this. Okay, I'm going to keep this. I will have my counterspell up in time for Voidwalker, and I can dress down a Voidwalker also. Obviously, discard spells notwithstanding, but I'm going to try. I'm going to let this Inquisition resolve because I don't think it's going to take the Consider. Yep, took the counterspell. No surprise there. I'm going to get Hallowed Fountain. I just want to make sure I'm set up. Consider. Yes, put Resurgent Belief in the graveyard. That's not a good one for me. I'm going to fetch Shock for Breeding Pool. And I'm just going to suspend the Belief. Let's go. Speed mode. I can dress down a Voidwalker and get a turn in here of development. Yep, there's that. I'm pretty worried about Ashiok. But otherwise, Ooh, nice, 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 nice. That's a good one. Okay. Here's the plan. I'm going to dress down in the end step. So Voidwalker is off on my turn. Then I'm going to Thirst for Meaning on my upkeep in response to Resurgent Belief. They're going to attack for 3. And what do you got? Itsugu consumes all. Don't care about that right now. Does cantrip with Veil, because that's a black card. Okay, so in the end step, I'm going to Veil of Summer. Or nope, nope, nope. I'm going to dress down, then I'm going to Veil of Summer. Dress down. So this is sleeping on my turn. I'm going to Veil of Summer just for the cantrip. And I'm going to try to spike an enchantment here. Come on, Omniscience. Omniscience, one-time dealer. Oh no! Brutal. Okay. I guess I just get nothing. I'll put Faithful Mending in the graveyard, and Glittering Wish isn't bad. Oh wait, this Consume is popping next turn. Damn. I think Shark Typhoon or Omniscience wins the game, but obviously here we are. I'm going to discard Resurgent Belief because I don't think that's going to be a factor here, and I guess I am losing the Faithful Mending. Just don't have room for that. Oh, that sucks. 18 cards into the deck, couldn't hit one of my big 7. Womp womp. Okay, graveyards are going to eat shit this turn, including this dress down. We can clear the Voidwalker with Engineered Explosives. Hive of the Eye Tyrant, more graveyard hate. Sweet. That was the window, by the way. I think this game is over. I'll play it out, but I think we're done. A Kroxa for the road. They get whatever whatever I exile here. Or no, they don't, because I'm going to... What's in the sideboard? The Bring to Light's in there. I think I'm going to lose the Teferi here. They have to spend this turn exploding the Voidwalker. And I have to do it before they can cast Teferi, because I can't beat Teferi. Never mad about a land. Closest for 2, let's go. And I'm just going to bust it right now. Clear that Voidwalker before I cast the Teferi. They get the Vessel of the All-Consuming. Oh, Tarok Con Queso. Oh, that's bad. That was a good way to top this curve. And I am not quite... Oh, I am dead on board. Can they activate this? That costs 4. I'm dead on board to a land. All right, that plays. Oh, that's so fucking awkward. Tarok gets bigger when you discard cards, and cycling is discarding. So making a 3/3 shark makes Tarok a 5/4. I can at least beat the Vessel here, though. I mean, it'll depend on what I draw here. And if they have removal. Like, if they have Lightning Bolt, I'm just dead no matter what I do. Or Fatal Push or whatever. Oh god, Faithful Mending also fuels Tarok. This card is so correct. 5, 6, 7, 8. I actually have to block the Vessel. Don't even get to mess with Ragavan. I go to 1 here. They get a treasure and a card. Inert Explosives. They can just play that on 0 if they want. And that gets ahead of Shark Typhoon tokens. Old Pyromancer. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, even if I draw a Glittering Wish, I don't have enough to Supreme Verdict. And they just took my Faithful Mending, which also grows Tarok. Tough times. There was one exciting turn there, and we just failed to deliver. But, like, I said it at the time, too. Like, as soon as we missed on that Thirst for Meaning that didn't find a Shark Typhoon or an Omniscience, it was over. On to the next one. I'm on the draw in round 4 with a 1-lander with Consider. I'm going to keep it. I get to see draw step, consider, draw step, 4 cards before I miss a land drop. Looks like Burn. Swift. All right, deck. Find me a land. All right, sweet. Now I have everything I want without needing to shock in anything. I'll Tay Swift getting in here. No pre-combat spell. This is probably Eidolon. All right. I will consider in response. Yes, but consider in the graveyard. With Eidolon around, I don't actually want that. This one's actually kind of exciting. I have 2 Shark Typhoons in the graveyard. I'm actually going to suspend Resurgent Belief and just hope that we get there. They suspended Riftbolt. That's actually really good for me, because that means I can play Teferi, bounce Eidolon, and that locks the Riftbolt. And if they spend any effort on Teferi, okay, yeah, okay. Bounce Eidolon. Found a land. Not sure if I actually want that, but I have it. Riftbolt is blocked, as my opponent can't cast spells during these times. These trying times. Do they want to put one on Teferi? They do. That's good for me. And I'm going to Faithful Mending in my upkeep, which pays for itself under Eidolon. Another Shark Typhoon. All right. Discard 2 of those. And then I take 2 here from the Eidolon to get these sharks. And Prismatic ending the Eidolon or a Swift Spear. I can get a pair of 2/2s regardless. I think I'd rather leave them under their own Eidolon. All right, so I'm at 6. I have this pair of 2/2s. And here we are. Dead to any 2 lightning bolts. There's one. Bummer. So I win this game on the play? Is that what you're telling me? Or am I still behind? I don't know. That was tough. That was so close. Unfortunately, I don't think we even win that with Omniscience. Or I could have cast Teferi, bounced Eidolon, and then done stuff. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Timely Reinforcements coming in. Engineered Explosives coming in. Supreme Verdict, Mystical Dispute, no. Fairy's kind of medium against burn, except when it's blocking out Rift Bolts, then it's great. I still think Teferi's kind of bad. I'm gonna cut all my Teferis, and I need my big enchantments. They need to hit. Dress Down can turn off Eidolon. That's could be big. I might need Glittering Wish to combo out, because this deck's not going to give me just infinite time to do that. So it's still just the most awkward card in the deck, and what I'm going to cut every time. Oof. One lander that's not going anywhere quick. I think I have to mulligan this. There we go. Ooh, it's tough to decide what I'm sending to the bottom, because the 3 lands get the Thirst for Meaning going. The Resurgent Belief. Like, I can ship the Timely and go in on a fast combo. I can ship the Belief and try to stabilize. Ugh, I hate that I think that's right. I could ship the Thirst and just cycle Shark Typhoon the turn that Belief's about to pop. Yeah, I'm actually in on that. With Spear. Gonna get my Hallowed Fountain. Okay, do I just aggro suspend Belief here? I suspend now. I can Timely next turn and then cycle Shark Typhoon the turn after that. Okay, yeah. This does work. At least kind of. This works insofar as I can put Shark Typhoon into play. And I can Timely Reinforcements in between. Both of which sound really good. Like an Eidolon. Okay. So I get to reinforce. I go to 15, back up to 21, get 3 homies. Swift Spear. Lava Spike. Pretty good. See what their attacks look like. I would expect the 2 Swift Spears to get in. Okay, Eidolon's coming too. No, it's not. All right. Triple block. And I'm going to cycle Shark Typhoon. Do I cycle it for 1 or for 0? I think it's for 0. Still get to draw a card, and I can hold up Counterspell this turn. Oh, nice. Another one. So Resurgent Belief gets that back. And I can cast Counterspell, getting a 2/2. If they try to just play the game without casting any more spells, then I can cycle the other Typhoon. Get basic Island here. Counterspell this, which seems a little weird because it's the same 2 I would take from Goblin Guide off the Eidolon, but getting the 2/2 in play is a big deal. I skewered the critic's second main. That's weird, but okay. Okay, I can make a 3/3. I can attack with my 2/2, then make a 3/3. Yeah, I'm gonna attack. I gotta win this game. If I fart around forever, they'll just turn it around on me. But if I get their life total lower than mine, then Eidolon starts to become a problem for them. Carrying Blaze. Okay. That hurts, but sure. I'm at 5. Skewering me. Oh god, that sucks. Okay, so what I have to do here is cycle Shark Typhoon for 1 and hope to draw a counterspell. On counterspell. Fuck. Alright. Yeah, I couldn't block both of these creatures, and yep, they pushed through for just enough. Dead on board and killed me for Xaxes. I wonder if there was a spot where I could have not fetched a land or not taken a damage. Disappointing. So close. Alright, on to the final round. I'm on the draw for the final round. I guess I'm keeping this hand. It's got lands and spells. Let's do the thing. 2 Glittering Wish is kind of rough. As we've determined throughout the league, I'm not even excited about the first Glittering Wish. I think that is like the worst and most awkward part of the whole deck. I'm sure we can find a way to combo off without dipping into a third color and without having this kind of clunky card in the deck. We'll talk about that again when I debrief after the league. A counterspell, okay. Ooh, science. I am going to shock in Hallowed Fountain because casting Consider is worth the damage here. This could be Yogg, could be some Jund deck, could be like just a black-green rock deck. Okay, some sort of Saga rock deck. Yeah, it's this deck. Okay. This deck won the challenge like 2 weeks ago. Kind of a sweet one. I am going to binge Shark Typhoon. Found Faithful Mending, cool. I'm sure there's some piece of graveyard hate that can come out of this Urza Saga, which I'm not excited about. I could Glittering Wish right now. Wish for Teferi, wish for Bring to Light. Oh, that actually doesn't seem that bad. Okay, I'm going to do that actually. Basic Forest is brutal. Like, I don't want to take 2 here, but I also want to cast spells after the Glittering Wish at some point. Alright, I'll take the 2, but I'm not happy about it. I like that getting Bring to Light doesn't necessarily telegraph that I'm a graveyard deck. Like, Saga goes up to 2 here. It goes up to 3 next to it, and then they tutor. Then I can... Jesus! Okay! Okay! I get it! It's not my day. I understand. I'm just like over here talking about how I'm not giving away that I'm a graveyard deck. They just had Nihil Spellbomb in hand. Fair enough. Maybe they'll use it to cantrip. Okay, cool. Yeah, they did miss a land drop, so using this to just get paid is fine with me. That makes Tarmogoyf this exact same size. Oh, they targeted themselves. Neat. All right, deal. Prismatic Ending. Do I want to fuck with that? I think I do. Just take the pressure off. Yeah, I'm in. White, green. Get rid of Tarmogoyf. And both of these sagas can pop still without giving away that I'm a graveyard deck. Guess it will depend on what there is to search for in the deck. Do they only have 1 Nihil Spellbomb? Do they play like 4 of them or 3 of them? Because it always cantrips even when it's bad. Do they get Shadow Spear here? What's going on? Bring Leaf Drum. Okay. I'm cool with that one. Okay. I can Glittering Wish for Conflux, or I can just wait and go with the Omniscience. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass here. Yeah, I just don't want to be suspicious. Like, if I can get through this Saga popping, I think I'm in good shape. Please don't get Graveyard Hate. Get Shadow Spear. Get Shadow Spear. Though a Thoughtseize is also no! Oh, they're so smart. How are they so smart? Maybe they'll use it to draw a card again. They went after Counterspell, though, not... Oh, Golgari Rot Farm. What is going on over there? Okay, I am going to have to Glittering Wish for the Detention Sphere and clear out these constructs. I believe that works. It doesn't say non-token, does it? Exile target non-land permanent. Okay, deal. Okay, Glittering Wish. Green, white. We get Detention Sphere. And then I'm going to sphere the constructs. I'm trying to walk them into using their Soul Guide Lantern to just draw a card. Because, like, the second they don't have Graveyard Hate in play, I'm jamming Omniscience. But we need to get to that point. That has to be a thing. Grist, okay. That can make an insect, which can make a mana, which can draw a card. If I can trick them into it. Counterspell, sure. God, this is so tense. Please draw a card, please draw a card, please draw a card, please draw a card. They have 5 cards in hand, though. They're not exactly hurting for action. Damn. Fucking Graveyard Hate. Draw a card, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. Witherbloom command. Milling me for 3. And picking up a land from their hand. Or draining me for 2, and they mill and pick up. Okay, sure. Grist is good for 0 damage right now. Deal. Ooh, approach is interesting. I could just get off of the combo entirely. Creature, instant, or sorcery. Which of those are in my deck? You can't bring to light for 7, unfortunately. I could cast Thirst for Meaning. And just get off of the bring to light entirely. Alright, I'm gonna Faithful Mending here. Just gonna give up on the graveyard. Discard 2 Resurgent Beliefs. Fuck. I missed on the land, which is what I was really trying to do here. Okay, I'll discard 2 Resurgent Beliefs. Saga. Insects are attacking me for 2. There, you got it. Another one. Build a Reclaimer. End step. Flashback. Ending. God, still nothing. Right, I'm gonna dump these Omnisciences. They're not gonna fall for the graveyard thing at this point. Still no land forthcoming. The fairy, you have a new purpose. Bounce Urza Saga. Find a land. Oh god. I need to approach the second sun. That is the only way I can win this match now. Put Trust down in the graveyard, yes, and found a land. Okay, alright. This is my only out. Maybe this is a cast Shark Typhoon moment. Though I am losing on board to the insects if I do that. I don't think I have time to make that play. Sending 2 attackers at Teferi. That's clever. Heads up. I don't have anything, but they don't know that. Grist is good for 1 damage if it goes ultimate. Build over Tarmogoyf. Now Grist is good for 2 damage. I'll put Counterspell at basically anything that goes on the stack here. I think I want to fetch. Just get the shock lands out of the way. Even though that thins a land out of my deck. Land. Oh yeah. Where is the sun? 4, 5, 6. I can take 6 next turn. The second sun is approaching. I gained 7 life, and now I gotta cast that card again. Alright, they pop the Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card. I can bring to light and win the game. Did I trick them into it? Oh my god. Do you have another piece of Graveyard Hate? Or what's going on here? Can you win the game in 1 shot? Hope not. What's going on here? They're tapping mana. I don't like it. No! Alright, please don't hit the Bring to Light. 50-50 here. Ah! Oh no! I've tried so hard. And Saga can make a construct. Oh no! Attack me for 4 here. Shark Typhoon makes Turok bigger. Drawing a card with Peatland. Okay, so they're giving up on making that construct. God, hitting that Bring to Light sucks so hard. Build another creature. A Grist Ultimate is good for 3 damage now. Faithful Mending is one of the best cards I could ask for. So Shark Typhoon approaches the 6th card down right now. So Faithful Mending sees 2, 3, 4. Alright. I kind of need the Shark Typhoon to wait here. Oh god, do they have a Pithing Needle? If they name Shark Typhoon heads up here, I'm in trouble. But I can't do it before combat, because then it gives away what my plan is. Oh, they just had nothing. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to make a 1/1, because a 1/1 can block Turok and still cast Counterspell and still cast Faithful Mending. Counterspell. And they have 7 cards in hand. If they can't kill this thing, I don't know what they're doing with their life. Yeah, okay, sure. And Faithful Mending doesn't actually help me because Turok deals the same amount of damage. 5, 10, they can put me to 1, and the Grist Blast is finally lethal. Oh, that was an exercise in frustration. So many thin moves. And Faithful Mending was exactly 1 short of keeping me alive through the Grist Blast. Exactly 1 too many creatures. I think we win that if the Turok just misses on that 50-50, though they had a lot of fatal pushes still sitting around that could have waded through my sharks. Veil of Summer's good. Engineer Explosives actually seems like a pretty big deal. Wiping out constructs and Grist tokens and Grist himself. The Glittering Wish did some work that game. That doesn't mean I like it, but it did do work that game. Vendilion Click can mess with their hand and pressure Grist. Timely Reinforcements is pretty medium. Like, it will almost always be on. I just don't know that that matters much. At least compared to advancing my game plan and doing stuff. They have at least 2 pieces of main deck Graveyard Hate. Don't like that. I'm going to shave 2 Wishes. I'm going to leave enough into combo. Dress Down is good against all of their creatures, like Tarmogoyf's 0/1, Turok doesn't do anything, wipes out the constructs, etc. Teferi is looking kind of medium here, and I need 1 more card. I don't think it can be a Dress Down. Maybe it's just another Teferi. Alright, fine. Okay, here we go. I'll keep this one. This has a speed run to the Resurgent Belief, which I'm not sure if that's good or not, but I do have it. For better or worse. I'm going to play Hallowed Fountain and pass. Between Consider, Shark Typhoon, and Thirst, I actually get a lot of chucks at my graveyard. Do they want the Belief? Or do they have Graveyard Hate ready? Did take the Belief right away. Probably the right call. Consider. Don't want the land. Omniscience, okay. I can dump that to Thirst very soon. This Veil of Summer was a good one to find, because they just saw my hand with Thoughtseize. That's another one. Let's go. There's Saga. Pointing. I'll get the Breeding Pool. Tapped. Yeah, I'm not going to cycle Shark Typhoon for 0. I think I'm going to need that to actually be a Shark Typhoon, Shark Token this game. I'm excited to cast this Thirst for Meaning, though. Discarding Omniscience, that's just the full value that this deck can offer. Okay, end step, Thirst for Meaning. Discard 1 enchantment. I choose Omniscience. Found the Approach. No idea if that's good or helpful, but I have it. I have 2 Shark Typhoons that can push through the air. And I guess it's a little awkward, because like if they just sit Graveyard Hate in play, that's not actually that good against me until I'm going for the combo. And I am wise enough to not be going for the combo, basically. Not going to tangle with this 3/3. I'm going to make a 2/2. Or, well, let's see if they Thoughtseize me. Yeah, Veil of Summer, baby! 2/4/1, 2/4/1. Now, do I want to make a 1/1 Shark or wait? I'm going to wait. Castle Vantress is a lovely card to find. I think Prismatic Ending on Nile Spellbomb makes sense. They don't get a card off it this way. It shrinks their constructs to a point where Shark Typhoon can tangle with them. They can still hit my graveyard, but it's not that bad right now. And I am holding the Approach. This very reasonable other half of the deck. I will offer the trade here. Let's try to take the pressure off. They have a removal spell, good for them. If they have Surgical, fuck. Alright, Fatal Push is fine. I have my land drops lined up. I would like to see a counterspell or a Veil of Summer. Witherbloom Command draining me, and they're regrowing their Saga. Already played 1, 2, 3, 4. This Treetop Village is actually like almost lethal right now. Oh, not anymore. Take a seat. Okay. Glacial Fortress, Engineered Explosives on 0. Let's go. I was almost tempted to cast Shark Typhoon here and then next turn, gain 7, make a 7/7. I think that would have been pretty sweet. I'm going to clear out these tokens. Can't afford to lose half my life right now. Please don't have Thoughtseize. You can have Inquisition, though. Tireless Tracker. That gets pretty big pretty quick. The treasures, or whatever these are, clues, also make the Saga tokens pretty big pretty quick. I think I'm going to poop out my 2/2 and draw a card. I know that I could use this later to get a card deeper towards approach, but I have Castle Vantress already, and I think I need to survive to get to the approach first. Should be my priority. Okay, approaching, and then I have Faithful Mending and Castle Vantress to shred into the deck to find that thing again. Let's go. Drawing a card with Tracker right away. I'm going to chump block Tracker, if I'm allowed. If this creature is still in play, come combat, I will absorb the 4 or 5 or however much damage that I can. I do need to watch out for Witherbloom Command. If they keep track of where my approach is in my deck, and they can mill it with Command, that means I have to sort of dance around with Faithful Mending. Kind of a who blinks first, but my card's an instant, theirs is a sorcery. Liliana, okay. I'm going to discard Hallowed Fountain. No! Okay, well, there goes my win condition. Now I suddenly need to draw Glittering Wish. Like, if I Glittering Wish for Bring to Light right now, I'm actually doing okay. But they can get the Soul Guide Lantern with this Urza Saga starting next turn, so, like, this does have to happen right now. Wish, 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 wish. That's so close, and also so far. Faithful Mending, let's go. Not helpful. Yeah, the Soul Guide Lantern popping out of this Urza Saga is brutal. I'll discard those two, suspend the belief, and I guess I have to Explosives for 1 to get ahead of Soul Guide Lantern. Like, basically what I have to do here is they get their Soul Guide Lantern, I destroy it, and then I rebuild in a way that allows me to... Oh, it's in their hand already? They failed to find. Okay. Well, at least it wasn't free. They also didn't make a construct. They have a plan to just Hadoken me right now. They wouldn't board out the Lantern, right? It doesn't make sense. But Necromentia being in the deck does maybe change things. Okay, they milled me for 3, putting Omniscience in my graveyard. All right, yeah, they have the Soul Guide Lantern in their hand. They have to. The last card in hand right now. Drawing cards with their Tracker. Drawing another card with Tracker here is a little surprising. Did they board the card out? Did they see that I'm a graveyard combo deck and then board out graveyard hate card? Blessing Liliana. Link to Rock. Okay. In for 6 here. They can attack for 9 next turn. I can Faithful Mending to draw 2. I guess they don't need to operate just yet. Oh, shit. No, I only have 1 green mana. Are you shitting me? Oh, no. Not like this. Well, I could Glittering Wish for Supreme Verdict and just smear this situation. Oh, wow. I got so excited, but nope. Damn. It's right there in front of me. Okay, I can get to Fairy and bounce Tireless Tracker. I could Detention Sphere, remove Tireless Tracker. Teferi could bounce Urza Saga, but I don't think that matters. All right, I actually am going to... All right, hold on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, let's Glittering Wish. Yes. The card I get with Teferi I'll lose to Liliana anyway, but I guess I'm all in on my graveyard. So white, blue, blue. Can bounce this gigantic lethal threat. Yep. Still don't have any green mana. Oh, that's such a beating. They played... I don't want to call it fast and loose, but they played conservatively to save their Soul Guide Lantern, if that's what's in their hand, for the turn where right before my suspend spell pops, but turns out it didn't matter. Ashiok. Yep. Yep. Okay. Oh my god, not having the second green actually killed me. The forest is right here. I discarded it to a Liliana early on. Is that what happened? How did the forest get in my graveyard? I must have discarded it to something. Yeah, I fucked up. All right. Close one. Oh, and then they reveal Ashiok and Dauthi Voidwalker at the very end. Oh, that Glittering Wish was right there. Heartbreaking to the very end. All right. I have still not 05 to League in a very long time on the channel. That is a running meme these days of no matter what's going on, at least I'm not 05ing. I think the Glittering Wish is a little clunky. I understand the Conflux combo at the end, but the Glittering Wish just as a magic card is not very good. And it also makes you do weird things with your mana. Like, if this was just Azorius Control that did the Resurgent thing, I've done a quick Scryfall search here for the words without paying its mana cost. Baral's Expertise. Return up to 3 target artifacts and/or creatures to their owner's hands. You may cast a card with mana value 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. That includes... This does get around the Resurgence's limitation. Like, if we're looking for a Bring to Light-esque card where we don't have to suspend the Resurgence and tell everyone it's coming, Baral's Expertise is a card you could play. Either Works Marvel requires significant deck building. Brain in a Jar takes too much setup. Chancellor costs $1 million. A lot of the problems with these cards are that they cost $1 million. Discover the Impossible is... I got really excited reading this one, but it only casts instants. So Discover's not going to help. Yeah, a lot of these just cost so much. Or they only get instants. Like Isochron Scepter is only instant. Kaho is only instant. Knowledge Pool is not what you're looking for. A lot of these are like counter an opponent's spell and you can cast it. Release to the Winds is only permanence. Spell shifts is at random. Spellbinder requires you to hit with a creature. Helix, you need 2 different sorceries you're going to cast. Ceram's Expertise also casts it. I think Ceram's Expertise is actually the closest thing to playable here. Because just like putting 3 Dinguses onto the board isn't super embarrassing. And basically this is like 4 mana skip, suspending your important spell. Like, this is actually a card you can cast reasonably. And even if you end up just like put 3 1/1 servos into play and cast Faithful Mending from your hand, that's still like a pretty good use of 4 mana. Sunforger unfortunately only gets instants. Torrential Gearhulk's only instants. Yeah, I think Ceram's Expertise is the most defensible card among these options. I'm not going to rebuild the whole deck right now, but I think if you want to cut all of the green stuff, get your 4th Teferi in there, get your 4th Omniscience in there. Joe, I will come clean. Joe did have 4 copies of Omniscience in the list that was sent to me, and I cut one of them for an additional Prismatic Ending, because I just wanted to interact more. But we also ran into multiple spots where like I had the combo ready to go, but no payoff. So it seems like Joe actually does know what he's doing. No offense, Joe. Just on first brush, this looked like it needed... To me, it was like, let's just make sure we're alive and we'll find one of the 3 Omnisciences. But there were times where having 4 would have been great. I would cut the green stuff, play... You'll have to fiddle with the number of Ceram's Expertise. It might be 2. It might be 4. I don't know. It just depends on how often you're going to slam that thing on turn 4 and go for it. So I actually think the curve of like Consider into Faithful Mending into Teferi into Ceram's Expertise is really exciting. And with Teferi, you could even Ceram it in on your opponent's turn and get your enchantments back in response to Graveyard Hate. That's really exciting. I would go that route if I were going to keep working on this deck. Joe, thank you for this list. If you want to take it down the straight Azorius route with some Ceram Expertise, I'd love to chat about it in the Discord. I'm sure the rest of the Patreon would love to do so too. This is a cool idea. Tuning this up would be fun. I hope to revisit this later on, maybe a straight blue-white version in a month or two. But in the meantime, everybody, thanks for watching. We had a lot of close calls today, and we did the thing a few times. This was a good league. Make sure to check out the Patreon, the links below, the Discord, the merch. All those things are there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for the next video.